Hello queers, peers, and fabulous beards, and welcome back to another World Building Wednesday video. I thought it would be fun to take some questions from patrons in the Discord and cover these topics with a little more detail, even though I've answered them already, to the individuals in question. So here we go with the first question from the Eldritch Darling. I was scrolling through Patreon and was wondering if the map in Palu had changed in any way from its initial design. So I would say that it has changed quite a bit. One major shift is that the concept of terrestrial tunnels connecting the reefs no longer exist. Logically, it felt odd to have tunnels that could take people months or longer to cross between lands. There were just too many practical issues, constant repair needs, border security nightmares, and the requirement for cooperative maintenance between reefs. For xenophobic reefs, especially having open tunnel access would create massive problems. Each reef would need extensive border patrol, and considering their bloody histories, expecting them to band together and work on shared infrastructure just does not seem realistic for them. It was a fun idea initially, and maybe a tunnel could exist somewhere in Palu, but having every single reef connected through these tunnels would be too expensive and politically complicated. Ships felt much more appropriate for the world. Plus, I wanted to incorporate more lands, areas, ruins, and Grimulcan societies. I have a lot of mapping to do, and I have been meaning to dedicate more time to it. So thank you, Eldritch Darling, for that question. We're now on to our next question from Sedgwick Norwood. Sedgwick says, so I know from that thing with Ziggy that biting or scratching is considered really uncouth, despite everyone being meowers. Does this mean growling and baring fangs would get reactions like, so you're showing your brutish, uncivilized nature after all? Real folk know how to have civilized discussion like gentle Mao. So yes, absolutely. The Mao are actively trying to separate themselves from primal instinct and uncivilized reactions. Growling, snarling, baring teeth, all of it is considered uncouth in polite society. Obviously, these behaviors still happen in battle and war situations, but in everyday life, yeah, you'd get called out for being uncivilized. The tricky part is hissing, since it's often involuntary, like with real cats. You might hiss out of fear, being startled, or frustration, which puts people in awkward situations. Even on pirate ships like we see in Chapter 2 when Macy unsheaths her claws at Kiki, these social rules still apply. Pirates might not use words like uncouth, but they understand that instinctual actions incite violence. Under Rabia's ship rules, violence between crew members is forbidden and should be reserved for enemies. She tends to break this rule regardless of what she says. We even have phrases like claws tucked, meaning someone accomplished a task easily or with such skill that they did not rely on their claws or primal instincts. This ties into the Wildcat short story about Ziggy, where we see Emmerich's desperate attempt to separate itself from any form of mortal or primal connection. They believe they're above anything considered wild and wouldn't dare to indulge in savage behavior. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy, and let me know if you have any more questions about the world of starfish lovers. And until next time, make room, break the mold, and keep going.